Something happened to you that has never happened before in the spiritual timeline assigned to your soul. A door closed on you, and the moment it did, the entire architecture of heaven shifted, not because you lost something, because something ancient inside you was finally unlocked. The rejection you experienced was not ordinary. It carried a frequency so rare that it triggered a response from forces beyond human understanding. What felt like an ending was actually a detonation, and you were standing at the center of it, unaware that you had just been chosen. In 10,000 years of spiritual records, no soul has been rejected this many times and remained unbroken. Every closed door in history has either destroyed a person or redirected them. But what happened to you defies both outcomes. You did not collapse. You did not become bitter. You absorbed rejection after rejection, and somehow your light did not dim. It deepened. The cosmos has no category for what you are. Ancient scrolls speak of souls who endure impossible separation and emerge more whole. Theologians call it refinement. The universe calls it preparation. You are living proof of something that was only theoretical until now. 3 months ago, you made a decision that most people would never make. You chose honesty when lying would have protected you. You walked away from something comfortable because it was no longer aligned with who you were becoming. That single decision, quiet, unseen, uncelebrated, sent a signal upward. It registered in a dimension you cannot see. That moral choice was the final confirmation the universe needed. It was not random. It was not small. It was the last test before your elevation was authorized. The rejection that followed was not punishment. It was clearance. You passed without even knowing you were being evaluated. You have been watched, not by humans, by forces that operate in silence and shadow, both dark and divine. The dark ones tried to use rejection to break your self-worth, to make you believe you are unwanted, unworthy, too much, or never enough. They planted doubt in the people who overlooked you. But the divine forces were watching something else entirely. They were watching how you responded. Every time you were excluded, every time you were passed over, divine intelligence was cataloging your reaction. Your resilience was being recorded. Your grace under humiliation was being archived. You were never invisible. You were under the most intense observation of your life. Remember when you were left out of the room where decisions were made, and instead of reacting, you went silent and kept building. Remember when someone took credit for your work, and you let it go, trusting that truth surfaces. Remember when you were rejected by someone you loved, and instead of begging, you released them with dignity. Each of those moments was a test engineered specifically for your soul. Not one of them was accidental. You passed every single one. While others around you reacted, manipulated, or collapsed, you chose the harder path every time. That pattern of integrity under pressure is extraordinarily rare, and it did not go unnoticed. In the higher realms, there exists a classification system for souls. Most humans are never classified at all. They move through life unremarkable to divine intelligence. But a small number receive a designation that changes everything. You have been classified. The beings who oversee soul assignments reviewed your record. Every rejection endured, every door closed, every moment you were overlooked, and they flagged you as rare. Not rare like special, rare like dangerous. Dangerous to limitation, dangerous to mediocrity, dangerous to every ceiling that was ever placed above you. They do not classify souls like you often, because souls like you do not appear often. You are on a list very few souls ever make. At the exact moment your greatest rejection occurred, God turned and looked directly at your soul. Not metaphorically, literally. The archangels assigned to your lineage stopped their work and witnessed what was happening to you. They watched you absorb a blow that would have ended lesser souls. And in that moment, a divine conversation took place about your future. What was spoken over you in that moment cannot be undone by any human decision, any closed door, or any person who failed to see your value. Heaven became your witness when earth rejected you. And a witness of that magnitude changes the legal standing of your destiny forever. A decree was issued, not a wish, not a hope. A decree, immovable, irreversible, and already in motion. The universe activated something in your DNA that had been sealed until now. The refinement period is officially over. The season of rejection has served its full purpose and has been retired from your story. What is now moving toward you has been held in reserve, protected from premature release, waiting for the version of you that rejection built. That version is who you are right now. The decree says your alignment begins immediately. Your elevation is not coming. It has already been authorized, and the first waves of it are already touching the edges of your life. You are not who you thought you were during the seasons of rejection. You are an ancient soul, one who has incarnated specifically to demonstrate that integrity survives devastation. You are a celestial warrior, not of weapons, but of endurance, grace, and unshakable truth. Every lifetime your soul has lived has been building toward this one. Every rejection in this life was an echo of battles your soul already knows how to win. The overlooking, the exclusion, the closed doors, they were never about your worth. They were about your preparation. Warriors are not born in comfort. They are forged in exactly the kind of fire you have already walked through. Your mission is not to chase success. Your mission is to become a living demonstration that rejection cannot define a soul built for elevation. You are assigned to anchor integrity in spaces that have forgotten what it looks like, to model compassion in environments that reward cruelty, to rise so visibly and so undeniably that every person who ever overlooked you becomes a witness to what divine favor looks like on a human life. You did not survive rejection to simply recover. You survived it to become a reference point. A before and after that others will study when they are trying to believe their own comeback is possible. Watch what begins to happen now. Doors that were sealed will open without you knocking. Resources will arrive from directions you never anticipated. The right people will find you without a strategy. Opportunities will stack in ways that defy logical explanation. This is not luck. This is divine infrastructure finally being released into your timeline. The universe spent years protecting you from spaces that would have consumed you before you were ready. Now that you are ready, it is redirecting everything it held back. The financial shift, the relational alignment, the creative acceleration. None of it is accidental. It is fulfillment of a promise made over your life before you were born. You will not have to announce your elevation. People will feel it when they encounter you. Something in your presence will disturb complacency in others. Your peace will make the restless uncomfortable. Your rise will give the hopeless permission to believe again. You will walk into rooms and conversations will shift. You will share your story and people will weep because it mirrors their own silence. This is the ripple. You are not just rising for yourself. Every person you awaken carries their own assignment. And when they rise, they awaken others. What started as your rejection becomes a chain reaction of restoration that travels further than you will ever be able to track. Right now, across the world, thousands of souls are waking up to the same revelation. They endured the same closed doors, the same seasons of being overlooked, the same quiet devastation of rejection. And they are receiving the same decree you are receiving in this moment. You are not isolated. You are part of a global network of rare souls being activated simultaneously. You will recognize them when you meet them, not by what they say, but by what they have survived. This network does not need an organization or a platform. It is held together by shared frequency. When you rise, your signal reaches them, and their rise reaches you back. If this message found you today, it was not by accident. Comment 777 below right now. That number is a confirmation signal, and when you type it, you are declaring that you receive everything spoken over you in this message. Share this with one person who has been quietly enduring rejection and has not yet been told what it was actually preparing them for. Subscribe so that the next decree finds you the moment it is released. And if you stayed until this final word, that itself is proof. Because only the souls this message was meant for have the patience and the depth to remain until the end. You already know who you are. Now walk like it.